The stage is yours, Jyotika.
Thank you, Oske. Very warm evening to all of you. Myself, Jyotika Rajput. I am from Stockholm International Toastmasters, D95, ex-VPPR, served 2 years and ex-president, the same club. And tonight we are having the workshop on Speechcraft. So before we begin, I would like to present some fun facts about public speaking. Public speaking was developed in Rome and Greece. That's what we hear. It's believed that 70% of all jobs involve some kind of public speaking. And we will soon be celebrating 15th of March as World Speech Day through live speaking events across the globe. So here's a question for my audience. What shapes up a conversation into a speech? You can unmute yourself, and like if there is anybody who would like to answer this thing, what are the elements, or is there something specific that shapes up the conversation into a speech?
Doctor, maybe?
Yeah, pretty close. Anybody?
Introduction, body, conclusion, we can say introduction, body, conclusion, proper.
Yes, yes. So that is definitely a part of speech. So it's a time-bound talk with a purpose. When we have a purpose, we have objective, and we have a subject, we can definitely frame it in a speech. And obviously, it's time-bound. With that, I would like to introduce you all to the forms and styles of speaking. As we all know, there are various styles. I will be presenting 4 major styles of public speaking. So first one is speak to inform. Second is speak to persuade. Third is speak to demonstrate. And fourth is speak at a ceremony. As we just listened to the 4 major styles of public speaking, anybody would like to answer this? What is that style which is used by mentors, managers, domain experts, and other professionals to share facts and historical data?
Persuasive speaking?
No, that's the first one. It's informative. So mostly we all are sharing information. We want to educate our subordinates. We want to educate our team. And with many such speeches, the major classification is known as informative speech or informative speaking. And then there is another style that is used by politicians, celebrities, fundraising NGOs, advertising agencies, new artists, YouTubers, many more people to inspire and motivate. So anybody there to answer which kind of style is this?
This one is persuasive, right?
Yes, so you're correct. This one is persuasive, because we want to persuade everyone, and we want to motivate and inspire people to buy our products, be our members, or just listen to us, and for a noble cause. Yeah. And then there's another style which is used by scientists and engineers, heavy machinery, domain experts, and aerospace industry.
Demonstrate?
Exactly. So this style is called demonstrative, and there are various domains and verticals in the world that are presenting information in a demonstrative form. For example, how to create a chip, an IT chip, or the computer chip, and many such things. So that really needs a step-by-step process, or even as simple as that, how to make a meal, how to make tea or coffee. So all these things are under demonstrative how-to procedures, and that is called demonstrative speaking. And the last one, we know we've done it all at weddings, ceremonies, birthdays, farewells, and especially our graduation. We've definitely given a speech at these amazing ceremonies, and that style is called ceremonial speaking. So after this, I want to ask you all, what is the soul of a speech? For a hint, I've given you this amazing picture. What is the soul of a speech?
To communicate a message towards the other person in a easy language, maybe.
Yes, you're pretty close, but we call it something. There's a technical name, or there's a name for it. Okay, so this is the art of storytelling. So when you become the artist who is painting the stories in their thoughts, and then you are weaving it all together and sharing it with your colleagues or friends, and especially here at Toastmasters to win contests, you become a storyteller. And that is the soul of any speech. Because be it informative, demonstrative, ceremonial, or persuasive, we all need a story. We all need a beginning and an end, and a lot of spice in between. So crafting a speech is just like preparing and serving food. How many of you have, or how many of you know the art of cooking? You can probably raise the hands. I might not be able to see, but so if you know how to cook, congratulations, you can definitely craft a speech, and that too in a good amount of time. So the legends say that we need to prepare a hearty meal for our guests. Similarly, as we prepare starters, main meal, and desserts, this is the sequence in which we prepare a speech. So when we are very clear in our head what we're gonna put in our introduction, what will we have in the main body of the speech, and how will we conclude with a little sweetness, or your point, your subject, and your purpose, that is an amazing idea of crafting a speech. So the building blocks of a speech, as we just discussed: introduction, what you can do to write your impactful speech. You should always begin with the introduction. It can be overview, and the first paragraph can be a quote, a song, question to induce audience interest and engage them. And all these purposeful elements should be able to engage your audience. And second is the body, main meal. We have to create separate paragraphs, and we have to be very particular that where our story is flowing, we have to weave the paragraphs into a style that is not lacking transitions. So here a lot of transitions will help. And also it's very important to have bulleted or numbered list whenever we are giving any procedure. And the last is the conclusion, and that's the dessert. It's very important to wrap up your speech and reconnect its essence, its last paragraph, with the subject, purpose, or objective with which you started. And probably you can repeat the same quote that you said in the beginning, or probably end with a new powerful quote, or just energize your audience to make so that they can make a call to action. So now I present to you a very interesting technique, which is called Prep It Up. And if you want, you can note it down, but I can share it later as well, but it's a little practice also. I will definitely give you 5 minutes. We'll be doing a quick Speechcraft here. So as I said, the introduction is important. The first thing, the element is point. It's the introduction. What is your introduction about? What is your topic? And how will you begin your story out there? Then once your point is built, once your subject is clear, once you have clarity, you proceed to the reasoning, your arguments and facts and in the story to give justice and to stabilize and support your purpose. And that is the R. Then we proceed forward with the examples and experience. So we present examples and experience from our own lives that is making us share this story with the world. Why are we sharing this story with the world? And what examples are there where we can make the other person or our audience understand the same thing that we went with? For example, a hiking experience, or you want to share your first job experience or anything. So it's very important, and it's nice if you share your personal stories with your own experience. And this is the body of the speech, where we say all the spice lies or the juice or the meat. And this body includes 5 W's: what, who, when, where, and why. When you present all these 5 questions into the body, your speech is almost done. So with this third point, we can create 75% of our speech. And of course, how. So when you're presenting demonstrative speech, you can also present how. And the last, back to the point, back to the purpose, wrapping it up nicely, that why you are giving this speech, what is the point to conclude, and reminding your audience that they have to take a call for action, giving your audience some little takeaway, that sweet dessert. So the dessert part lies here. And we are also talking here about logos, ethos, and pathos. We'll soon cover it in the next slide. But this is the speech structure. This is the main core or framework, I would call it. And anytime you have any difficulty in table topics or writing your main speech, I think this prep technique is definitely going to help you. It helped me a lot, and I learned it myself from a senior a long time back, from a senior mentor at my Toastmasters. So that's the prep. And as we just talked about the rhetorics, the ethos, pathos, and logos, they are the main tool of persuasive speaking. So anybody here who recognizes this guy?
Aristotle?
Exactly, bingo. So in around 350 BCE, Aristotle gave to the world, which is today known as rhetorics, the ethos, pathos, and logos, the whole structure, how to build your speech, or how to do a storytelling, or how to just communicate. And these tools were majorly used for political reasons, and in society they very soon got prevalent. So the story, your purpose, your speech has to touch the heart. It should be having pathos, it should be emotional, there should be elements of empathy, values, and inspiration and motivation for your audience. And then there should be a message which goes directly into the head, which directly ignites the light or insight to your audience, that why are we doing this? What is the purpose? And then in this category falls your logic, your proof, your reasoning, stats, and facts. And in the end, it's credibility, the ethos. There has to be trust factor. Your audience is listening to you because they trust you. And credibility also calls upon your own experience and who you are in a person, in identity. So your identity should be aware to your audience in most cases. But in today's world, when we see social media influencers, they are very new. They're also beginning to build their identities, and that's the new age thing. But I think credibility is very important. Identification of your source of information is important. So all this falls into the ethos, pathos, and logos. And there's one more thing, if anybody could guess, there's one more thing which is very important. I would call it, personally, I would submerge it in rhetorics, and it's missing here, but it is important.
Actionable, you can say, steps or takeaway, you can say.
Okay, I give you a clue. There are 3 H we call head, heart, and one more H, which is very important, and it just lights up the room. It brings a shine in your audience eyes, and it makes the atmosphere very jubilant.
Humor?
Exactly, bingo. So you need to bring in some humor. You need to bring some light-hearted elements in your speech, make it more entertaining, even if you're presenting some information as boring as, like how to ride a bike. You need to bring in some humor, but make sure, like just a little tip here, you are making fun of a process, not a community or a person, or the remarks. The humor should be, it's a very delicate element, so it can definitely elevate your level of speech, but it should be used very mindfully. So after this, I want to share something here. We all are unique, and we all have different accents, and we are native and non-native speakers. So I want to share the speech time. There is 150 to 160 words per minute for a native speaker or fast speaker, and 125 to 150 words per minute for a non-native or slow speaker, as per the sources. So you need to decide what suits you. So while crafting your speech, while writing your speech, just make note of this fact, and time yourself, write down your words, and calculate that how many words are you able to speak in a minute. And that will definitely take you further to shape up your entire speech in a nice way. And majorly just presenting the 3 major classifications of speech times that we have at Toastmasters. We know table topic is 2 minutes, 4 to 6 minutes, and 5 to 7 minute speeches. So when you have the time allocated to you, you can definitely mark how many words we're gonna speak. And in the end, what matters is practice, a good vocabulary, and more practice, I think, to break that ice and be confident in your own accent and grammar. So that was it. But before I go, I want to quickly ask you all, as I said, we'll do a little demo here. Please, let me go back to this slide of prep. And I give you 2 minutes. Let's do an outline of your speech, or anybody, if you're giving a speech in your next session, you can do it here. So write down your subject, write down a little outline of your subject, what it's about, and why are you doing it, the reasoning, example, and conclusion. So I do want one volunteer who will present this prep technique for all of us using this method.
I think Shakil is a volunteer.
Okay. And 5 W's and 1 H is optional, but they definitely form a very strong base if you use them. And if you have them in your story, so it's nice to use.
So let's say 2 minutes starts now. What do you think, Jyotika?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes starts now.
Can I choose the topic of my choice?
Yeah, of course. It's
Assalamualaikum bhai.
Time is up. Shakil, is it okay if I also record you?
Yeah. Just give me 10 seconds maybe. Just to post my mobile on the stand. 5 seconds maybe. Yeah, it's fine. Can I start?
Sure.
When you don't shoot, it's 100% miss. So shoot. And remember one thing, it's never too late. How many would believe in having a hobby, in your passion? Please raise your hand. Do you live your passion or not? Well, remember one thing. Whenever you have a passion, there is not an ending limit. Just can you recall when the KFC started all thing at the age of 65? People normally retire at 60, not to think to add something. Age is just a number for many people. Just sharing an example of myself, I strive to be a trainer, a teacher, you can say, conducting training sessions. I got an opportunity in 2019 conducting sessions at my institute, at my mother institute regarding Microsoft Excel. Yes, you're right. Then it was really never looking back. And thanks to God, today I have a friend in Microsoft Excel intermediate and advanced levels around, you can say, 650 to 700 participants. I'm not joking. Am I joking? Really not. So just take an inspiration, whatever you want to do. You can do it at any stage of your life. Just do whatever you want to do. Follow your passion. Rather than just having a 9-to-5 job or one business of your breadhood, earning your bread and butter for your family, do something which you are passionate about. You will really love it. And remember one thing, you will also be inspiring others in the way. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
I was actually furious. I was.